Welcome to the 5th IR community hosted by Multi-Cloud for You. Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Suchi Misra, your host for today's event with my co-host Lavik. So today's session is all about infrastructure as a code and automation in a Microsoft Azure, presented by Purva Patki. So before we begin, let's take a moment who we are and where we're standing for.
First, we have to understand what we do, who are we. So talking about 5th IR, so 5th IR is a stand for 5th Industrial Revolution, and 5th IR is a single stand learning community and a platform where you can learn, grow and polish your skill. So as you can see, we started 5 years back in 2019, then we grow and recognized by big names. Then we expand our horizon, and in 2022 we convert a single stand learning community to a platform, and then we create events, give mentorship and so many things. Talking about the 5th IR features, so for users, the platform help people create different type of profiles to market them better. You can create your business card, and talking about business card, you can create your digital visiting card. You can go to the 5thir.com and create your digital V card. And we are very soon going to launch NFC card also. So you can check out on 5thir.com. And yeah, back to slide. You can create your CV, company page, business page, mentor profile, and talking about professional, you can enhance your business and product also. And for the organization, you can create a community, you can give a mentorship, create a blog, give quizzes, conference, event, job conference, job post, speaker profile, quiz, and so many things. And talking about Multi-Cloud for You, so Multi-Cloud for You is a community-focused tech firm building data platform and custom products with consulting and engineering. We work on generative AI, blockchain, data products, data platform, cloud, and talking about domains. So we also work in retail, banking and finance, energy, healthcare, IT, and we have so many clients supported across the globe, such that America, Latin America, Europe, Middle East, India, Oceania. So we are not talking in here. Here are numbers justify our growth. So we have 31,555 members on registered on 5th IR and Multi-Cloud for You, and we distribute 8,880 certificates across the globe. We have 413 speakers, 23 courses, 275 sessions, and so we also run a reward certification program, and we give a certificate to our top speakers. And we are also a partnership with Alibaba Cloud Academy. So you can go to the 5thir.com and enroll in any courses you are interested in, and you will get this Alibaba Cloud certificate. And so by the end of this session, you will get a link in your team chatbot. So by clicking on that link, you have to give the quiz, and after completing the quiz, you will get the certificate from us. So talking about a speaker, Purva Patki. Purva Patki is an expert in infrastructure as code, IaC, and automation in Microsoft Azure, with a strong focus on helping team provision, manage and scale cloud source efficiently all through code. So Purva Patki is over to you.
Thank you for the warm welcome, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge with you guys. Let me know once my screen is visible. Okay. So, hello everyone. Good evening. I am Purva Patki. So today I'll be taking you through a topic that is like changing the way organization build and manage their cloud environments. So these days are like cloud digitalization is happening crazily around the globe, and these things like the words infrastructure as a code, IaC, and automation, these are going trendy on LinkedIn and social medias and all of the corporate world right now. So if you are from a technical background, it's a very good recap for you. And if you are not, I'll keep it simple and I'll try to connect each of my concepts and the real world examples so we can all relate to it. So here is what we will be exploring today. What is automation in the cloud, and what it really means and why it matters. how infrastructure as a code or IaC works, especially in Azure, and we will take a quick look at Azure's main IaC tools, how the automation pipelines and governance make the cloud management easier, and finally some of the best practices and the security tips. So think of this as a journey. We would be first understanding why, and then eventually we will learn how to do it. So, introduction to automation in the cloud. So, let's start with a very good example. Let's say you are managing a smart home. There are various voice assistants available in the market right now. That there is Alexa or something like that. You might have it or not. Let's say you are managing a smart home. You have the good lights, good air conditioning, and a security camera at your home, and you just go on every day, switch it on, like push the button, switch it on, and you do it everything like every time. So you are doing it manually. You are switching on the light, switching off the light, switching on the air conditionings, and switching it off. So you set up an automation regarding this one. So the lights turn on at the sunset. The thermostat adjusts the temperature automatically, and your door locks when you leave. So cloud automation works exactly the same way. But instead of lights and the thermostats, we are automating our servers, databases, and applications. We don't have the air conditioning on the cloud, but we have the databases on the cloud. So we would automate that one. So automation in the cloud removes the manual steps, reduces the errors, and ensures that things happen quickly and reliably. So just like your smart home running smoothly in the background when you are not there. So let's go and see why it matters. Like I said before, this is the journey from why to how. So let's talk about why right now. So there are three key reasons why cloud automation is so much important. We would need to understand the need first. So first one is the real world challenge in the cloud management. So the example is, if you are cooking a big meal every day without a recipe, you might forget an ingredient, you might make it salty, you might make it sugary, or you might overcook something. So managing the cloud resources manually is just like that, prone to mistakes and inconsistent. There might be something like, you have just figured out you need the lesser version of the virtual machine, but you have deployed a stronger one. It is now underutilized. So what you do, just delete it, create it again, and just like that. So it is something like automation brings us something with a structure. Like we follow a recipe which is in a structured way. The second one is the scalability and the reliability. So you run a coffee shop and you just have two customers every day. One coffee machine serves your purpose. But one day, one fine day, your coffee shop goes on viral and hundreds of customers in your coffee shop. Will a single machine run that? No. So you would need hundreds of machine like on that point itself. So what cloud does is scalability offers it. So you will be automatically having all of the things together which you need. So it scales up the resources and it scales down instantly also. The third one is the efficiency and the cost reduction. So just like using energy efficient appliances saves the electricity bill, automation saves time and cost in the cloud by reducing the human effort basically and optimizing the usages. Let's understand what is IaC. Like infrastructure as a code is a phenomenon right now which is going on, but let's go on the core side of that and let's understand regarding what is it. So think of IaC as writing your manual for your cloud setup. So instead of manually clicking just buttons and creating the servers, creating the networks, we write a code that describes what we want. So a manual is created, what we want. So Azure then reads your manual and builds everything automatically. So defining IaC and its core concept means that Your infrastructure setup is written in a code which brings consistency, just like printing multiple copies of the manuals, ensuring that the structure looks the same. Okay. The analogy behind it is infrastructure as software. Just like we use code to develop apps, we now use code to develop the infrastructure. So previously, the infrastructure was a manual process, but now a developer can just write a code and maybe configure the infrastructure within seconds also. So a developer can deploy a website using code, the same thing we can do for the entire environment, like the servers, network, storages, using infrastructure as a code. So there is some traditional setup, and the traditional setup was a manual one. Now we use the IaC. So teams manually created server one by one. That's like manually building furniture without the instruction. IaC is like using the manuals. Every time you follow it, you get the exact same results. Infrastructure as code in Azure. So now we are talking explicitly about the Azure right now. So how does IaC works in Azure is Azure offers multiple ways to do the IaC, such as there are arms, there are biceps, there are terraforms. You can think of them as different brands of the same appliances. So like we have AWS, we have Azure, we have Google Cloud. So all of the cloud serves the same purpose, but just there are brandings are different. So the each one has slightly different style, but not the interface. Sorry, and the interface like different style and different interface, but cooks the same thing. Like give the same of the structure that you want. So uh yeah, how IaC works in Azure is it is a declarative model. So let's say a company wants to deploy a standard web app environment, which would need a virtual network, a subnet, a storage account, an app service, and a SQL database. But it would be just one? No. There would be three environments: development, QA, and production. So, in all of the three environments, we would need the same structure over there: a network, a subnet, a storage, a app service, and a SQL databases. So, instead of creating each of this individually in the portal, they use IaC. And how Azure handles this one is a developer defines a desired state, what resources should exist, and how they should be configured. They don't write steps like create a VM, then add the network, etc. Azure figures it out. Okay. So then we use the ARM. ARM reads the bicep file, compares it and what's already deployed. Then ARM provisions or updates only what's needed to match the declarative state. And then comes the CI/CD integration. The bicep file is stored as a Git repo. Every time the code changes are pushed as the DevOps pipeline automatically runs and the deploys the latest version, ensuring that every environment, dev test prod, okay, dev QA prod, all of these things are stays in the sync. So, yep. So let's have a quick look at different tools. They are available for implementing the IaC in the Azure. So these are something like ARM, Bicep, Terraform, and pros and cons of each of them. So ARM templates, these are Azure's original native IaC solution. They are JSON and to describe the desired state of the resources they are used. So ARM templates are declarative, sometimes repeatable. You can repeat it whenever like you use the social medias, you just create some reels and you have the templates over there. Every time you do not go and add up your a special element there, you can just use the template and a purpose is served already. So they are great for automation and the virtual is the clearer, more readable syntax, which while offering all of the same capabilities. Bicep is now Microsoft recommended approach for the native IaC. It supports modular design, parameterization, and seamless integration. So It makes it easier to manage the larger deployments. Then comes the Terraform and Pulumai comparison. Terraform is most popular multi-cloud IaC tool. It does not just for Azure deployments, but it can be used for the other clouds also. So known for its strong community support and efficient state management. Pulumai, on the other hand, allows developers to familiar programming languages like Python, C hash. So making it more flexible for developers who prefer code-based workflows. So key takeaway here is that each tool serves the different needs. You can choose based on what your organization need, how is your organization's environment, how is the skill set, how is your skill set, and the scalability goals. So when it comes to pros and cons, when we compare this, ARM provides native integration but is less developer friendly. Bicep simplifies the things but is Azure only. Terraform is powerful across multiple clouds but adds up the complexity. Ulumai offers the flexibility to real programming languages but has a steeper learning curve. So choice is yours. You can choose any of that where you're comfortable and what you want to use. But these are the IC tools which are in trend right now and they have a much more demand in the market. So coming to the governance and the policy automation. So Azure Policy and Blueprint ensures that governance and the compliance by enforcing standards automatically. Policy can restrict the resources, enforces the tag, and validate the configuration, while blueprints are combine policies, roles, template to enterprise the governance. So these automation tools maintain the compliance and control across the multi-environment deployments. So think of this as blueprints are the CEO and the policies are the managers. So CEO does the standardization. He just says that I want this, I want that. But there is a standardization which comes from the CEO, and then manager does what? So it enforces something. It enforces the policies, enforces the tags, or like there are some policies set for the other employees also. Like employees are the resources. So this is how the policy and blueprint work together. We have security, best practices, and conclusion. We are reached over here. So automation security includes the airbag access control, managed identities for the secure authentication, and key vault for the secret management. Together, the services ensure that automation doesn't compromise the security. Integrating them into IaC workflows provides continuous compliance and protects the sensitive credentials in the deployments. Some of the best practices and the common pitfalls: follow modular design to keep templates reusable and maintainable. So a clean template has a, I would say, a powerful state that it can be reusable so that you don't have to create it every time. Regular monitoring for the configuration drift to ensure the environment match their IaC definition. So always test, lint, and validate the code before deploying to production. Avoid hard coding values. Use parameterization and enforce policies for the consistent governance. Conclusion and call to action. Infrastructure as code transforms how we manage the Azure environment, making them scalable and small incremental adaptation. Start integrating IaC tools like Bicep and Terraform. Automate the governance and leverage the Azure DevOps pipelines for a full lifecycle management. So that's where we conclude today. Thank you for a time that you had given me to share my knowledge.
Thank you, Purva. Such an informative and insightful session. And big thanks to my audience who have connected with us. I hope this session is a productive to all of you. And keep learning, keep growing, and stay connected with Fifth Year Community upcoming event. Thank you.